Today I'm going to show you this new television, 4K 60 inches, but first I've got one of those terrible DIY jobs to do. Now this is wonky and it has been really frustrating me and a lot of you as well. So I've tried sticky pads, I've tried double-sided tape. Today it's time to try some no more nails. Job done, it is now nice and straight. Okay, so now I can talk to you about the television. This is the LG 60UF850V. Now the 60 part stands for 60 inches and this is a 4K UHD resolution TV. Now if you've watched my previous videos, you'll know that the previous television I had in the studio was a Samsung 55-inch curved display. And when I came to selecting the upgrade I wanted to do, I definitely knew that I wanted 4K. You know, things are progressing nicely with more 4K and UHD content becoming available. And we've also got 4K Blu-ray players due out this year. But I couldn't decide whether I wanted to spend that bit extra on a curved display or whether indeed that was a marketing gimmick and wasn't really useful to the viewing experience. And that was the most difficult decision I had when choosing this one. Now, when I first put the Samsung curved display into the studio, the curve was very noticeable and really nice and unique. I really loved the way it looked. But after about 2 weeks, the curve disappeared. It wasn't as noticeable. It had blended into the background. And yes, I still loved the fact it was a curved display, but was it any better than a flat display? Was it more immersive? Now, where my camera's positioned now is round about 5 feet away, or maybe 6 feet away from the television screen. And I would say that between 4 and 6 feet away from a 55-inch curved display does give you a more immersive feel because you can see that curve more. But when you're sitting at a normal watching distance, it really doesn't make that much difference. So rather than get a 55-inch curved 4K display, I went for a larger extra 5 inches and a flat screen. And this LG has worked very well for the past about 6 or 7 weeks that I've had it. I'm really pleased with all of the features, apart from one, and I'll cover that very negative feature first. And that is when you're watching back 1080p footage, it upscales it to 4K resolution. So it's got a good upscaling sort of processor inside. It brings out the detail, but on occasion you do get a very small glitch, like a shimmer in the picture in the middle of the screen. Now I've had a couple of software updates on this since owning it, and I was hoping that those software updates would in fact sort of iron out that glitch. It's got to be some sort of processing glitch rather than an actual fault with the television. So I think that maybe somewhere along the lines, and I have reported this to LG, hopefully they will address that situation. It doesn't happen too often, it's not a deal breaker by any means, but I just thought you should know about it. Now the other things I really like, I've got 2 remotes here actually. One of them is nothing to do with the TV. This is my Virgin Media TiVo box, which is a bit sluggish. It does get very slow, but it works well, and I like the way it handles the recordings. The remote that comes with the LG TV is this one. I really like this remote. It's a cross between when you used to get a traditional remote with the television and a magic remote. This is both in one. So this is got a microphone built into it. It's also got a little cursor, so you can move the pink cursor around the screen and make things look nice and funny by putting the cursor on your nose or in other places. No, seriously, this is really nice for navigating around the screen, and you can select your various applications. For example, if I push the home button, you can see we get a menu system pop up across the bottom, and you can use the cursor and the enter button to select whatever you want. Or you can do it the traditional way and just move left and right on the D-pad, and it brings up different sort of options here. So there's lots of different ways of navigating around the television, and I think this remote works really well. It's also really great for if you're actually going to input text. So that's where this comes into its own, because you can just point and click rather than scroll through the various letters. I just want to very quickly show you the menu on the left hand side of the television. Very neatly laid out. Again, you can use this pointer control, or you can indeed just scroll through. And we've got picture controls. We've also got, let me go back up to the top. So we've got various picture controls here. We've also got sound controls. This has got a tuner built in, so we've got program controls as well. We've also got network settings. So this is currently connected via an Ethernet cable inside the cabinet underneath the television. I've got this hardwired into my network. So it does the updates automatically, pulls information down for streaming, because this has got things like Netflix, Amazon, Now TV built into it. We've also got general, which is just some general settings as described by the name of the little icon here. And then we've got safety information, which is putting a parental lock on the television, and then accessibility settings. So that's how the menu system looks, and I think it works very well. Let me go back into YouTube. Actually, before I go into YouTube, let's go into Amazon Video, and I can show you what the Amazon Video user interface looks like. And this is really nicely laid out, and you can see here on the home screen we've got 4K Ultra HD TV to buy, 4K Ultra HD movies to buy or rent, and then we've got a 4K section which is Prime TV. Now I've been watching Mad Dogs recently, very good, and in Ultra HD, so pin sharp content, and then we've got all of this to choose from as well. So plenty of UHD content to enjoy. I think it's just fantastic. Now, I've used this, as I say, for about 6 or 7 weeks. The actual picture quality is top notch, really very satisfied with it. The user interface takes a little bit getting used to, but I like it. It's nice and rich in its content, and the design of the television, very good indeed. A nice sturdy stand. It doesn't get too warm, and it just delivers content really nicely. Oh, and the speakers, some people ask about this. Now I've got this actually set up with a 5.1 surround sound system, but if that's not switched on, the actual speakers on the telly are some of the better ones that I've heard. They deliver nice quality audio. I was quite surprised by that, because previous televisions I've had, unless I go all the way back to the day when I had like a large CRT TV which could accommodate better speakers, but certainly all of the LCD and LED and thinner TVs that I've had, even the plasma television that I had previously, didn't have very good speakers. They were acceptable, but I was always looking for ways of improving that audio with a sound bar, or by switching the 5.1 system on more than I would normally. But with this, I'm perfectly happy to use the built-in speakers. I think it's very good indeed. Now I'm just going to go back to YouTube, because I want to show you how easy it is to actually input some text as well. So let's go all the way over, it's all the way over the end, and we go into YouTube. And we're back to the video that I was playing previously, so that's resumed. If I go back one step, I can actually go back one more step, and we can go up to the search bar at the top and clear that. And here you can just see how easy it is to actually search. Let's search for Geekanoids again. So I'm just pointing to the letters, clicking on them, and you can see here it does auto fill in at the top, so I can select the whole word if I want to here. So I can go into Geekanoids and it will go to my channel here. 109,555 subscribers. Wow, very pleased with that. And then I can set a video playing. So it's very easy to navigate. Absolutely love the remote control. So anyway, that's it for this video. Oh, I forgot to mention inputs around the back. 1, 2, 3 HDMI inputs. It's got component input. It's got digital Freeview television input. 3 USB inputs, and one of those is a USB 3 input as well. And I think one of them also carries a 5 volt 1 amp output. So you can actually use the USB on the back to power something like an Amazon Fire TV stick or something similar to that. You wouldn't need Amazon Fire TV stick because this has got it built in, but if you're running another sort of stick that needs power, or a little tiny sort of streaming box that needs power, the chances are you might be able to power it via one of the USB connections on the back of the television. So that's it. Super slim profile, great picture, great sound, excellent all-round build quality. I can really highly recommend this particular LG 4K UHD television. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. 4K at last on a large screen in the Geekanoids studio. I'm really pleased. I'll see you again soon in another video.